Heyo, welcome back, welcome back. Been doing some research after I got off yesterday with what it is I'm wanting to do. Um, Excuse the mess I've been cleaning. But we are going to do a little bit of a run to pick up some things in this episode, and then hopefully, when we're running a certain part of the game, we will get to where the weapon that we're going to use. Because there is actually a weapon that will work with this a lot better. So I'm hoping that I can find that. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the ability to make sure that the stream is officially up and running. Come on. There we go. I just like to try and make sure that everything is up and running. I apologize, a little behind on that. So here's what we're going to do before we come do this. I'm going to go do a bunch of other stuff. I'm actually going to be running over here. This is Castle Redmane. We're not going to go inside. We're not going to do any of it. But there is a graveyard in the backside that we need to get to because there is an Ash of War that we're going to want. So what I'm going to do is actually come over here, back to this. I'm going to mark here, and we're going to mark right about there. I don't remember exactly where the graveyard is back there. I actually think it's like right here, technically, because let's see, run up, clip, run, yes. Yeah, it's actually right there. So take that off, boom, right there. So where we're running, there's a silver scarab that has the Ash of War. That is what we want. So, plus, that is what we're after. We want that Ash of War. And then we will be good to rock and roll with the rest of this build. Hopefully we get the weapon that I want when we're doing one of the other legacy dungeons. If not, I can always farm for it. So. Tricky part is we do not want to piss off the birds. The birds at this point will absolutely wreck our health pool right now. They hit us. If it doesn't instant kill us, then when torrent gets dispelled and we get hit again, we're toast. These dogs are crazy dogs, so it does not matter if you have the beast repellent torch when we get that later on. If they've got the crazy red eyes, they will try to murder you no matter what. Now, there is a scarab right up here. This isn't the scarab we want, but that has Cragblade, which is actually a really good physical weapon. It has a lot of poise break. It has a lot of other benefits to it as well. It does have a lot of iframes when you're using it, so it's overall pretty good. Now this is going to be the dangerous part. That's why I went ahead and grabbed that Grace. As you're running across, you're going to see that there are these fireballs pitched at you. Wait for the second one, and then you just move over. If you try and do some zigzag pattern, you're probably gonna get absolutely wrecked by those things. Even with way more health than what we have right now, you can easily get decimated by that thing. All right, jump up here. Now, I'm not here to grab anything else, so like I said, we're not going into the castle. I'm not doing any of that jazz. There is a really good two-handed weapon in here we'll get later called the Flamberge. It's one of the very few two-handed weapons, or great swords, whatever you want to call it, that actually has bleed buildup on it. I was explaining in one of the other streams that I did a build using that weapon and a Ash of War called Wind Caller. Only reason I'm getting up here is so the poison will stop trying to affect me. Because I need the stuff to go away. Because there's... no! Alright, there we go. I just need all the bats down there to leave me alone. So that we can be out of combat so I can teleport. There we go. Alright, so now that we've got that, back to what we were doing originally. And we're going to add that Ash of War to our weapon for now. So... So, just to show you, in case you need to know, we can actually level up, which is great. Put one. Let's see, we said we were going to do 2, 1, and 1, if I remember correctly. Until this gets to 15, then we'll do that up some. So, 2. I don't have any more points after doing 2. Alright, put it into vigor then. Alright, so we're going to go down here to Ashes of War. Click on the blade, and we're going to put Flaming Strike. So this has 2 different attacks. Okay, the first one shoots out a wave of energy, which is fire. And then as soon as that's done, if we follow it up with another attack, we'll actually coat our weapon in fire damage, allowing us to do... more damage essentially. Now, so you can see if we leave it in standard, we keep our 136 plus 33, whereas with if we do it into the fire, we have 104 plus 20 on our physical damage, but we also gain 104 plus 23 fire damage. Fire damage is depicted by multiple things, but it can be increased somewhat by strength in of itself. So that is always a plus. As you can see, we go from a D strength and a D dex down to a D strength and a D in D strength and D in dexterity, or an E rather in dexterity. So we're gonna do that, but just for giggles, I do want to check something here. So the build that I was originally going to do was going to be with the greatsword, and I was actually going to use this Ash of War. For some reason, I could have sworn I had tested it previously with this blade, but it just will not work. Now, what you can do is put it with like the heavy crag, or the crag weapon, crag blade. There is also a gravity spell later on that we can get from one of the bosses. You can use that, change it to any elemental type from fire, lightning, frost, any of that kind of stuff. And it will actually compound not only the gravity damage, but will also do that elemental damage as well. It's pretty neat. But we're going to stick to this until we can get our battle axe, which is the weapon that I really want. So, here we are. We're back at Fort Height West. And this is what we're going to be clearing, along with some other stuff today. Sorry for getting on so late. I planned on streaming this morning, but I went and watched a movie with the family. And then came home and relaxed and got some cleaning done. And then, yeah, decided to get on for a little while. So just to show you this, so the first one does that. And then we follow up with an attack. Unfortunately, we got stunned. Otherwise, we would have been able to take out both of those guys. So we're going to go take on this big guy right here. So just to show that again. Fire. Ooh, snap. We still got the attack off, but so did he. That's not exactly what I wanted. But that allows us to do so much more damage when our blade is on fire. Alright, stop hitting me while I'm trying to murderize all you people. But yeah, so for about, I believe it's 40 seconds, this will stay on fire. It does a baseline of 90 damage, but that's 90 damage added to any of our existing damage. So, just to put that in perspective, That is, ooh, or can be a ton of overall damage. Ooh. Now you can see what I was saying about the rats. Start getting more on me than I want. Plus I got a dude above me throwing fireballs, and it's just no bueno. Grab that cookbook. Got the dang sun in my eyes now. Alrighty. Oh, no. Go, Wolfies. And Bloody Slash is actually a really good Ash of War. If you're wanting to do a really early on blood build, you can put this on almost everything in the game. And it will just absolutely wreck with bleed buildup. So there is that. But now that we've completed Fort Height West, we run up here. We need this medallion here. This is one of the medallions you need to progress the storyline. Come on. Go down, Jalata. Right. There's one other guy because he's fighting some stuff. Take him out. Done deal. So, now that we've completed this area, that was everything that we needed to do. We're going to come back and we're going to go talk to Kenneth again so that we can get the Erd Tree Dagger. That's another item that you can actually end up getting, which is nice. Get my bearings here. Do. I think we'll also, in this episode, maybe, or in this stream, whatever we want to call it, I don't even know what it is. It's just me trying to get back into the groove of it. All right.
Did you well done. I knew it now. Go ahead.
And there's the Erd Tree Dagger. So, he's actually got more dialogue, now that I think about it.
What's that look? Well,
so, just keep talking to him. He's going to ask if you want to join his service.
Would you like? I see enter.
We're going to say yes.
Very well.
I pledge thine service to you, sir. Alright, now his quest for the most part is done at this point. He'll move on later and we can go talk to him again at the fort. But for now, he's done. So, that part is complete. We have done all of this stuff here. In the last couple episodes, we did stuff down here. We still have the boss here that we need to do. We still have that legacy dungeon, but now that we are done with pretty much all of Central, we're going to run up here. We're going to take out Summon Water. And then that is... Oh, we still have all this stuff here that we got to do. So we're going to go do Summon Water. We're going to do this here. And then we're going to start clearing out Southern Limgrave here. So, let's teleport here. So these guys here can give you all sorts of stuff, but they are. There he is. They will summon skeletons. Now you can fight these dudes with holy damage, some entirely up to you. But honestly, you just want to kind of... Oh, dang it. Let me get my flaming sword. Haha. He punched his own people. Now this particular guy, when we take him down, will give us the skeleton action summons. The skeletal action summons are actually pretty good. Just because they, so the skeletal malicious ashes, if you summon them, they will continue fighting. They can get knocked down just like the other skeletons. And if they are not killed while down again, they'll get right back up. Just like any other skeletal minion. Just like that. Okay, so he's down. Got that completed. Now we're going to go over here and we're going to save we're going to get access to a merchant. We're going to pick up some other stuff. And then we will go to Southern Limgrave. Alright. By the way, that guy right there on that hill, he's fake. You hit him, he turns into a rune bear, you kill him, and you get an item so that you can respec. Rune bears, very, very deadly. At this point in the game, not only do we not have the ability to respec, we don't really have the health to fight that one. Plus, there's way easier things to get for respecking. So, don't stress too much about it. Out of my way. You too. Oh, I missed him. Grab that. And you come down here. Gotta fight a pumpkin head. Summon my distraction. I'm not sure how he missed, but okay. But he goes down, Grace gets summoned, and then she's here. So, she's another sorcery merchant. Just keep talking to her, say, yeah, I want to learn. Yes, I really want to learn. And now you have access to her. So she has more spells. Obviously, she's got the Pebble, she's got the Arc, which are really good ones. She's got Barrage, which a lot of people use, honestly, for the stat requirements, plus the FP cost, she does have the Scholar's Armament, which is pretty okay, but again, the FP cost on it just meh. And Glintstone Stars, people try to use this, it looks funny, but it's not useful at all. You're fighting anything that has any kind of agility, you will miss every single orb. So, just not worth it at all. But she gives us that. So, we run back out. Well, here, let's hit the Grace so that we can go. Now, for those who have played this game before, I totally understand that when we get to a certain boss here shortly, he has a higher than normal fire resistance. So the particular Ash of War that we have just won't work on him. Like, that looked like a rainbow for half a second when we ran out. That was cool. Alright. I'm running up these rocks because there's these annoying little mage dudes. And they frustrate the snot out of me when they just shoot you from long range. So, I don't want to do that. So, I am going to come up here. I'm going to grab that Starlight Shard. And then that guy right over there is who we're going to go after. And we got the Royal House Scroll, which we can go turn in here in a minute. Now we're going to go run to the other side. There he is. Those guys are super annoying. There we go. Done deal. Done deal. No horn. I mean, as you can see, I mean, we are just... Now, these are lower level dudes. Most of these don't have any armor. Now, you remember when we were trying to use this blade by itself and fight the guys where I wanted to get their armor in a previous stream? I'm about to have to fight another one of these guys. Watch the damage increase we had from then to now. Get the fire. Look at that. One jump strike and the dude's already almost toast. Grab this. Woo! I thought I could be a little bit faster. 2 drum strikes. Gone. So... there you go. I mean, this weapon's already doing immensely better than we did with the mace with the bleed build, right? Like, granted, this does a little bit more damage than that particular weapon. Like, this one does 84 versus the 104. Technically 208. But did you see that? Like, watch our fire, right? So right now it's 104 with 23. That's just baseline me hitting stuff. Let me use up a mana pot here. So then I'm going to show you. I do this, catch my blade on fire. We go back over to our weapon, and now it's 104 and 113 damage per swing. And that's only going to go up as I level this sword, as well as boost my stats. Like, it just will get better and better as it goes on. And there's an even better weapon to add this flame art to. I will definitely farm for it to try and get it. Hopefully we get it in the first time we come to the guy that drops it, but there we go. Okay, so that's now cleared. So now we're gonna start down here. Man, we're gonna try this. So. Let me see here. I want to I want to do some stuff, but I don't. Never mind. I don't know. I was gonna post this crap all over social media, but it's not like it really matters. Hell, half the time I think I'm the only one that's actually watching my own stream. Not that I'm like into watching my own shit. It's just
the servant they've since come. I fear it's please. Would you mind
nobody else does.
Please? Thank you.
Alright, so let's just say deliver the letter.
Deliver it to me.
So that's all we needed from her. Now we're going to just quick travel down here to this one. And we're about to make one really, really big circle. And I'm just going to try and blitz through, clearing all this as we can. First things first, though, we're going to get that shield that we missed back in our original run. So we hit this at that angle and go into this tower. And there you go. Great turtle shield. So if you're trying to play a tank early on, that is a really good great shield. Low stat requirements, decent blocking. It's got a great Ash of War on it. So here's an actual memory tower, right? So the other one, there was that wind that we could just jump up and do it that way. This one we have to do the puzzle. Puzzle's pretty simple. Talk to it. It says seek 3 wise beasts. There's a turtle that will appear behind you. Ooh, if I don't miss him. You slap that one. Right behind this book in these trees. There's another one right there. And then there's one more. That pond that we ran past just a second ago. You'll see that splash right there. If you're online, usually you have some people leaving messages right next to it. But there's that. And now that we took those guys down, boom, it's open. Okay. And climb all the way to the top. Careful, careful, go up the stairs. And there's your memory stone. So now we go all the way back. Whee! And now on about our day. So now we're gonna go to another cave. Let me hit this grace real quick. Then I'll pull up the map and I'll show you where we're headed. So there's the memory tower. We're going to head down this way. And there's a, I call it a cave, but there's a dungeon, cave, whatever you want to call it, right there. When we're done with that, we're going to come run back up, run across this right here. There is a tower right there. We're going to get an item. Then we're going to run down and around, and there's another cave that's right about there. Then when that's done, we're going to run back up and around. We're going to fight a boss there and get an item there. And then from there, I'll point out some other stuff. So, like I said, we run this way. You can fight these guys. They don't really drop anything worth anything. At least I've never gotten them to drop anything worth anything, so... When you see the jellyfish, you will know that you're almost to it. And here it is. Point number 1. So, be careful when you first come in. There will be one of these guys right here. I'd hoped he was going to fall off. That's the only reason why I didn't keep attacking. Then you come down the stairs. There will be one that throws stuff at you. Do not fall off, because it is an insta-doom. Get some light in here. I don't know if it's too dark for you guys, but I know it's too dark for me. Oop, I missed. Come on, potion. Make sure you're grabbing these grave and ghost glove wards. So we're going to go straight first. Come into this room back here. Be careful because of that guy. Then grab that one because that's a grave glove work. That's how you level up your ashes, by the way. Jump up over here. As that starts to go back down, you want to run back across. Then that will go up, and we're going to fall right down here. Now, this next room we're about to run into There's going to be a lot of stuff that spawns. You can kill it, but they, number one, won't give you a whole lot of runes. And number two, they just res infinitely. So you basically just want to dodge all these guys, run through and collect all the stuff you can get your hands on. Be safe about this, because if these guys hug you, they will do a lot of damage. But we're headed for that ladder right there. But there are some things here that you can grab. Beautiful thing is those guys will come all the way to the ladder, but not go any further. They will not attempt to climb up here. See. So as soon as you get up towards the top, they kind of just de-aggro from you. They're like, oh, I wouldn't know. Stairs? What? What are ladders? And then they kind of leave you be. Alright, so there's a heavy door. Now, there is one of those little guardian imp things right around that corner. Right there. Woo. And then jump. And there you go. We're back at the entrance and the door's open. Now, if I remember correctly, this is going to be one that has a bunch of those guardians. So, this could be a pretty tough fight. I should go back and do my runes, but I think we can do this. Yeah. So this is going to have those little guardians. So I'm going to summon my wolves as distraction for some of this stuff. Ooh. Ow. I'm not fighting you. Alright, heal. What I want to do is try to ignore the watchdog and take out all the imps first. Now that that's done, now we'll come in and we'll take care of business. Come on. Woo. I was hoping that was going to stun him. Like that. And there we go. Done deal. And you get the demi-human ashes. They're okay if you just want a distraction like what I'm using the dogs for. They're a pretty decent distraction. They're not the best, but they are a decent distraction. That's not what I want. There we go. And I remembered how to do this on my phone. Because I'm a genius. Not really. Not even close. Next, my story, and post. Then pull this back up. Share. Let's see. I know this is incredibly enthralling, but just seeing if I mean, why not? Send it there. And then I want to copy link, go to Insta, go sure. I want to do come say hi. Done. There. Why not? Alright. That was boring for the whole whopping me that's watching this, to be honest. But we're at 11,000 runes, so that's a plus. Alright, so, like I said, we're running back up and around. We're going to run past all these guys, including the Gravitas Lord, or whatever they call him. We're actually going to run up this hill real fast. There is an item up here you can get. I believe it's a somber smithing stone, or it's a rather regular smithing stone. I can never remember what's up here. A friend of mine told me about this up here. Oh, it's a stone sword. Well, even better. Jump. Alright, then like I said, we're going to come down, across this, and we're going to go up this little fort tower thing. There's two ways you can do it. You can do it on either side, but the easiest way, in my opinion, is to come right up here, get off, take that guy out. Then you just have to climb up these ladders, and there's a guy at the top. Take him out, and then there's a chest that will have a strength crossbow called the Ballista. So basically, we're going to get the hand version of that thing. And I can tell you, I've had some people use it against me in PvP. It's not fun. Because even if you dodge roll, if the shockwave from it hitting the ground hits you, you will still take damage. You can still be stunned. You can still be knocked around, pushed off ledges. Yeah. But anyway, so we got that. We're headed west down this cliff before we double back. I'm just trying to get to a part where I can run off that ledge there and not instantly die. And then we're going to go down here, following this little coastline. Be careful, because you can fall off if you're not paying attention. And here's the next cave, Earth Bore. So, we're going to do this. We're actually going to rest just to replenish all of our stuff. Plus, we've got 11,000 runes. So let's go ahead and level up real quick. So we already put 2 points there, 1 point, 1 point, and I don't have another point to put in. So, but as you can see, like, for example, I take this out, our weapon goes from 253 to 255, putting 1 extra point into strength, right? And that's what we're going to focus on. We're focusing on strength for right now. But yeah, so we're going to get that up so that our fire defense is a little bit higher. Not that that matters to us, but what it does do, endurance gives us max equip load, more stamina, which is going to be important since we're swinging around this big sword. Mind gives us more mana so that we can use our ash a little bit more. And we go from there. Alright, there we go. And like I said, I'm going to do that until mind is at about 15. And then endurance we want to get up to about 20 so that we don't have to waste any slots on stuff that gives us endurance. For the most part, there will be some great runes. I'll explain them when we get one. But I don't tend to use them, because if you die at all, you have to use the resource kit. Now, it's not a huge problem later on when you have, you know, like 20, 30 rune arcs. But early on, if you get so dependent on using your rune arcs, once you, or the greater rune rather, it just, I don't know. To me, it became a handicap. I just couldn't do good if I didn't have that on. So, yeah, I got to the part where I just don't use them, like, at all. It can boost your stats, depending on which one you equip, but be careful so you don't go run way off into the void there. Now, if I remember correctly, this is the bear. I do not like the bear. Yeah, this is the bear. I do not like the bear. So here's a rune bear. And you're about to see just how dangerous these things can be. They're constantly charging everywhere. They'll do that and try and hug you. And they will cause you to do all sorts of nonsense. But you can see, like, just the amount of damage you do with this flame art is ridiculous. It's fantastic. Like, I mean, I know Bloodhound Fang is really good because it's got its weapon art where you can dash in and dash out real quick. But this, I mean, just, you catch stuff on fire so it takes dot damage. You swing your weapon, and if you hit with both, you do a ton of damage. Later on in the game, oh my gosh, man. It is just enormous amounts of damage. Enormous. Alright, so that's done. Got that done. We're back up to 5,000 runes already. And we're headed over here to fight a boss to get another magic item. We're going to pick up a shield here in a second, which is the first thing I'm going to do for you guys. So this is the demi-human forest. At the very end, you'll see this square building that you have to have torrent to get in. I have not ever been able to get in or out of this place without torrent. But once you get in here, you just run down the steps. And this will have a shield. And there you go. Shield of the Guilty. So this is actually a pretty cool thing. So the Shield of the Guilty has a blood loss buildup. So if you parry with it, it does cause blood loss. But on top of that, just having this equipped, if it is on your back and something attacks your back, I've actually had it apply the blood loss effect. I don't know if that is guaranteed like all the time, but I have had with no weapon that causes blood loss, I have actually gotten a blood loss proc from somebody hitting me while I had this just dangled on my back. So that's pretty cool. And then this is the Great Turtle Shield that we were talking about earlier. You can ignore the attack power because I don't ever shield bash. This is a strength-based shield. It is a great shield. Well, technically it's a medium shield. But you'll see that it has 87 physical damage negation. So, I mean, that's huge. Only 13% physical damage gets through to us. It's got great magical, fire, lightning, holy. The guard boost is great, but the great thing about this is the barricade shield. You activate that and nothing, and I mean nothing, is going to stagger you while that effect is active if you block it properly. I mean, it just, you'll watch the great arrows that we were talking about from the golem a while back, those things will bounce off you. I mean, it is just insane. It's such a great Ash of War. Here's the boss lady that we were talking about. I'm just going to stay mounted. If I remember correctly, she gives us a staff and a spell. As she sit here and absolutely nukes her own people. So we get the demi-human queen staff and crystal burst. So yeah. There we go, take it down. Even this thing will cower if it's in here, which is great, because then you just beat on it. Get all those nice, juicy 105 runes. Like, it's not a lot of runes, but I mean, better than 0. So, there we go. Materia leaf. And then, like I said, we run up here, and there's an item right there. Grab that. And now, from there, let me get away from all this stuff that's trying to poison us. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, so that is all that part there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to run and we're going to grab this. Then we're going to teleport up here. And then, if you remember correctly, if you saw the first stream, there was an item that we didn't go get because we didn't have the capability of getting it. We're going to go get that. There's a beetle... it's right... Well, I'll show it when we get over here. But we basically... we run along here, and it's over down here somewhere. Because then we're going to have to teleport. But once we grab that, what we'll do is we'll teleport back up here. Because from here, we're going to go hit a cave that's right about there. And then from that one, we'll run back up and around. We're going to take down the Earth Tree Beast. Or whatever the stupid little things are called. From there, we'll run, and we will get the item here and the item here. Again, we're going to ignore this part here because that's for a quest much later. So, those are the next few points that we're going to hit. Once those are done, then we will come down here and we're going to do this. So, let's get her done. If you see these skulls that are glowing with their little eyes out in the wild, you want to crack those. They do give you golden rune ones. I've actually gotten it to where I couldn't collect any more gold runes on one of my characters just by doing that, running over those little skulls. Plus all the extra stuff from grinding and whatnot. Just got tons of them. Tons and tons and tons of them. And I just remembered there's actually some stuff still out in Central Limgrave that we need to do. So we'll do that once we're done with Southern. Alright, so send that down. Alright, nothing in that hallway. Smithing Stone 1. Alright. Let's use up the 7,000 runes that we have. Plus we need to rest, replenish our stuff. So we level up. So we've done 2, 1, 1. Now we do 1 here. And then we're going to go back up to Vigor. Alright. Now, just because I'm going to clean this out just a little bit here. There we go. And actually, we don't have any, I just realized we don't have a trinket equipped. So, that's bad on me. So this is that first talisman that we got. It's called the Green Turtle Talisman. It increases our stamina recovery, which is nice. The second one that we picked up during our run was the Axe Talisman. Increases our heavy charged attacks. Roar Medallion. We got that does the roars and breath attacks, which can affect the dragon incantations now, which is great. Spell Drake Talisman boosts magical damage negation. The Flame Drake does the same thing but for fire. The Blue Dancer, we did talk about this one temporarily, but this one gives us higher attack power if we have a lower equip load. So basically, you run around in your undies and you do more damage. And then the Assassin's Crimson Dagger, this for critical hits. So those Poise Break, those count as critical hits. That would give us HP back. Alright. And for now, we can only equip one, so I'm going to do the extra stamina. Alright. Jump. Come up over here. And again, these guys are made from rocks, so if you do not want to bounce off them, even if you have a one-handed weapon equipped, if you two-handed, or power stance it as it's called, it will help you not bounce off these guys. There you go. Now this part's the tricky part, because there's like 3 of these dudes, 2 of them are sleeping. Luckily this sword has so much range. I did this with a sword and board, and oh man, that just makes it way difficult. Okay, there we go. Ah. Okay. Yeah, we want to finish nuking everything down here first. Okay. Alright, so you see that guy with the wings? We want to take him down first. Everything else, second nature. Take him, and then we're going to turn around, and there's another one right here. These guys can fly, and they will summon, or they will shoot you with arrows. Ooh. That almost hurt a lot. Heal up. Now we do have to be careful because these dudes with the backpacks, like I said, if you see them sparkling and you hit them with fire, they will explode. And it will kill you if you do not have enough health. So that doesn't matter if it's a flame weapon, flame incantation, flaming arrow, any fire. If their backpack is sparkly, they will explode. Now the cool thing is you can round up a bunch of those dudes, do a one fire attack, or get them to hit each other with a fire attack, and they will detonate and usually kill everybody else. There was a passage that we are missing, so hold on a second. Down here. This up. Get you some exalted flesh. Ow. Ow, ow. Hurry. Not overly worried about it. That's not fun. From behind the shack, and you get a somber smithing stone 1. And I sworn there was one more guy somewhere, but yep, there we go. I'm not crazy. Boom. Okay. And we run back down that hallway where we already cleared. So we already cleared all this. So now we just run around to make sure that we haven't missed anything. There's another somber stone 1. See? Nope. He's non-targetable, so I think we got an item off him. Doo-doo. Now we're headed to the boss room. And as soon as you head in here, we're actually going to dip over here and take this and grab another somber stone 1. Heal up. Now we're gonna fight another one of these guys here shortly. So I think it's actually pretty funny that they make one a boss. It's like foreshadowing. We actually fight a couple of these guys. But Scaly Misbegotten. Ooh. Usually he rolls. I was not expecting him to swing. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Rusted Anchor, very short weapon. Very short weapon. It's supposed to be a two-handed weapon, but the thing is shorter than most one-handed weapons. It's absolutely ridiculous. Okay. Now, from here, did that. So like I said, we're actually going to teleport up here, and we're going to go get a incantation. My nose, it itches. Okay. So, from there, we're going to run back towards the south along the ridgeline, just like we did in the initial run. And as I had pointed out in that run, down here, you go past all this stuff, there was the scarab, that little beetle down there, that has an incantation. So this is the part where we gotta be pretty careful. You can do this on Torrent. If you feel like you are Superman, you can do this without doing it on Torrent. But I have died every time I have attempted to do this without being on Torrent. Okay, so I'm gonna focus that as soon as that lightning strikes, drop down, and just start swinging for the fences. Now, if you're like me, you can come right over here into this little cubby hole, and you can make all those bats come with you. I've never had them come in the cubby hole before. Alright, there we go. Now we get to go jump up here. I've never had them come in that little rock face before. That was pretty crazy. Alright, so from here, we're going to go this way. And my mark is a little off of where we need to go. But basically, you just want to be on the right-hand side of that tree, but underneath it, you'll see these little pillars here. And the doorway to where we're going is right behind this pillar. So we'll go run through this, make it go away. Bloop. But it's right there. Okay. And then let us level up. Get a little bit more vigor going there. And if I remember correctly, this one is undead. Yeah. So, since this one's undead, we're actually going to switch over to this weapon. That way we can just insta-nuke these guys here. Grab that, grab that. Just makes it so much easier if you have a holy weapon. Keep forgetting to put on my torch. I don't know how dark it is for you guys. Like, look at the difference if we don't have a holy weapon. Like, how long it takes us to take out a skeleton. It's ridiculous. Woo! I didn't think I was gonna make that. Punch that. Wait for this thing to res. Slap him. I'm actually going to jump up here real quick. Because that guy will throw bombs at you and that gets annoying. So you come in here, quickly grab that, then we're gonna run, jump. Then you wait for the second fire and it will take out everybody. And you just collect free runes. Sometimes that doesn't work. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Sometimes that does not work at all, and they just get in a spot where there is no fire. But for the most part, it does work if you're able to get it quickly enough. Pull the lever! And there we go. Boss door is open. So, now that that's done, we're going to switch back over to this. And we're going to go take down a boss. Drink a mana pot. Go through here. Now these guys, these cemetery shades, are super annoying. Because they have such wide attack range. And if they get behind you, I mean, forget it. Those guys are so much easier to kill when you're a mage. That right there, though, was a legendary summon that you do need for platinum, just FYI. So, there's a few of those guys running around, but they're nice. Alright, so now that that's done, actually, hold on. Let's go back in here. Let's heal up. Because now we're going to go take on a big boy. And this is the easiest one out of these guys, in my opinion. He's got some very basic attacks. They're all telegraphed quite easily. You gonna give me a spear? No? I think I've only ever gotten one of those spears without having to do some serious farming for it. But we summon these guys just cuz. So he does swing, swing, and then he'll do an overhand. Alright, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna whack him a good one. Then he's gonna do the ground. This right here is the most annoying ability he has, because those stars, whoop, will do a ton of damage. And there you go. Done deal. Done deal. And there we go. So, do that. Now that that one's done, so we've done those 2 points. Now we're going to go over here and get another item, and then we're going to go get another trinket. So, you can either teleport back to the church if you absolutely need to, and then just run down that way. Or if you're, wanting to look for things like that, or you just don't want to deal with a load screen, you can literally just run straight there. Man, tell you what, that movie took it out of me today. Get some more sleepy plants. You can actually make sleep pots with these and throw them at targets. So, if you like doing the sleep stuff, it's pretty neat. Alright, this is gonna hurt. There we go. Woo, that was probably the cleanest I've ever had that fight without a shield on. Because they shoot explosive bolts at you, and that's not fun. Here we go, Winged Scythe. So I talked about it in one of the other deals. But this right here is a scythe. It does have blood loss. It is a faith-based weapon. But the cool thing is if you read through this right here, it does holy damage. And according to pagan belief, white-winged maidens are said to be Death's gentle envoys. Unique skill, Angel's Wings. It allows you to dash forward and do this cool spinny thingy. But jump and imbue the winged blade of the armament with light, then deliver a slashing attack on the enemy. The white wings impede recovery actions using a Flask of Tear. Well, the only things that can use Flask of Tears are PvP-oriented fights. So that being with NPCs or with actual players. So pretty neat stuff there. All right, now we're gonna go do that Evergold gel. We saw this way early on. This is the second one that we'll be doing total right now. There's one that I don't do because it doesn't require you to do it for platinum. So unless you're trying to get the item out of it, meh, not useful at all. But anyway, so we're gonna come over here. This guy, by the way, hits like a truck. He also does frost buildup, which is not fun. Oh, wrong one. I thought he was doing the other one. Oh my gosh. I'm just misreading this fight all over the place. Ooh, if he hits me again, dude. There it is. Whew. And that gives us Radagon's Scar Seal, which is actually a really decent weapon. Or, not weapon, it's a decent trinket. Simply because it actually will boost a lot of your stats. So it's basically like getting 5 free levels. The downside is you'll take more damage. So depending on what you're trying to build, that could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. But like I said, we're not going to do this one because this is part of a quest line much later in the game. So from here, we're actually going to run down here because there's literally nothing else on this map now except for here. Once we complete that, I still need to do this part here. There's an item tucked away in a cave over here. There's a guy that we need to kill for an Ash of War. And then there's a PvP event and a thing over here that we need to do. And then we're on to here. So we don't have a whole lot left before we start getting into the real nitty gritty of this. So here we go. We'll do this legacy dungeon and then I'm going to call it a day. But I'll be on again tomorrow. By the way, so once I complete this and once I complete here, here, and then we go over here and we complete this here, I am then going to do the nighttime bosses that are here. So there's some Night Riders, there's a couple Death Birds, but we'll do all the nighttime bosses. And just for giggles, we are going to attempt to do the ball-bearing hunter that shows up here. We will probably get our cheeks clapped from that. We also got to do all the stuff here, though. But, yeah, so here we go. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can try to dodge the arrows if you want to go down that pathway. Or I go up here so that the golem does not see us. That shoots those arrows like that. Because he will continue to try and shoot those things. But I like to be able to safely get over to him. In air quotes. So I use all these big rocks, get close, and then he launches that arrow, and I just dart straight for him. And again, attack the feet. 3 does the trick. Come over to his chest and crit strike him. Done deal. I think that did 3,000 damage. And we got some more great arrows. In case we ever get a great bow from those guys. Alright. Running, running, and running, and running, running. By the way, there's nothing in this room. I'll show you. There's nada here. So, we are going to go ahead and rest. Make it morning, and then we're going to level up. Because it was about to be nighttime, and I don't like running through here during the night. So, we did 1 point there. Now we're going to do another point here. There's probably somebody that will watch this stream at some point, probably, and they'll be looking at me like, bro, why are you doing that? Why would you pump points there, man? Like, focus on strength, focus on vigor, like, that's all you're gonna need. And, yeah, they're right. But I like having a little bit more freedom on my summons. I like having a little bit more freedom with how much I can use my Ash of War. I like having the ability to not need to take up trinket slots to be able to wear heavier gear later on. So, that's why I put points where I do. Does that hurt my damage early on? Absolutely. But it is not a necessity. There we go. My nose, it won't stop itching. One down. Like 400 more of these dudes to go. Come on. Come on. Oh, I hate how far this guy can attack. No! And that's what I'm talking about right there. Like, these dudes hit so hard. Oh, looks like one of my friends just got on. Okie dokie. Wait for the ladder to come down. This time we'll just summon our wolves. We'll suck it up. Nah, too bad that guy costs 104. I'll be honest, like, I don't like that summon. I know it's a legendary one, and it's actually pretty useful. But I don't like it because of how much he goes invisible while doing the attacks. I've watched him teleport himself off a ledge. Now, I don't know if that was a bug and it's been fixed, but I've literally watched that that summon teleport itself off a ledge. Oh, no, no, no. No, 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 no. Stop it. Hate wolves. Absolutely hate wolves. There we go. All right. Now, just so you guys know, there is a shortcut. Like, if you don't want to have to do that every single time, you go down this way. There's the pumpkin head guy there you can ignore. There is a guy right... I don't think we can see him. But he's just past that wall right there. You kill him, and then there's a ladder that will take you up to where we're about to be. But that's, like I said, that's if you don't want to... You don't want to have to do that little fight right there, and you don't want to feel like running through them, possibly aggroing a bunch of them to get back to where you died. This is a pretty easy way to do it. Claymore, this is actually a really good two-hander. I believe it actually does a little more damage than the sword that we're using right now. It does have a slightly higher requirement. You go from 1610 to 1613. We will test that out when we get to another grace to see which one actually does the most amount of damage before we add the flame art and which one comes after the flame art. Neither of those are the weapons that we want to use ideally for this build, but we will see. Bye. Ooh, got an iron cleaver. It's a relatively rare drop. Not a useful one, but relatively rare. Alright, now down this way, there's an item that's not all that useful. Unless for whatever reason you just want to use this. Like, I don't even know how you would put this in a build. It is the steel wire torch. It's the only torch weapon, or the only actual torch, like torch, that you can use as a weapon. There's another one later on that's a staff that you can get that is on fire. Like, the end of it is on fire, and you can use it to poke people and do fire damage and keep them at bay that way. But yeah, I just... So here's going to be the tricky part, because there are two flyers down here, and I don't have a way to knock them out of the air aside from our weapon. So then back roll, back roll, back roll, hide. And hope one of these dudes is dumb enough to come over here. What? How did he attack me through the... Dude's making me use up all my potions. Ooh, don't fall off. There we go. Okay, now we need to go that way for our quest, but what we're going to do is we're going to actually drop back this way first, and we're going to run across. Now there's a guy hiding behind these little things right here. He will attack us here, just like that. Then we run, slap. There we go, smithing stone 2. Now, we don't really need all these, like, I mean, once we figure out what weapon we want, we're definitely going to want all these. Like I said, I'm looking for a very specific weapon. It drops off a very specific enemy, and I'm going to have to probably do a ton of farming unless somehow I get super lucky. It will be the only real time in this particular stream, and I'm not going to do it on stream because that's just ridiculous to make you guys watch me kill a guy, then reload, kill a guy, then reload, and so. There we go. Alright, so the quest that we picked up, we got a letter from a girl. She wanted us to deliver it to her father. Her father's all the way up here.
I'm Edgar, but you can see menials against
And
foul treatment. Sorry,
we just
about
talked through
that.
all his dialogue. Deliver the letter.
But I can't, even if they can ensure the if you her father.
There we go. Okay. Done deal there. Just run off. It's important that we get that quest done because it will help us do a different quest later. If you don't do that now, you'll have to come back to do it later if you try to do the other side quest. Because he gives us an item that we need. So right here, we're just going to walk off the edge, and there is another grace. So, real quick, we've got 8,200 runes. We're going to level up, but we're also going to check the damage of those swords, see which sword does better damage. So, level up. I believe we just did that. So, we'll go point. Yeah, we'll just do a point in endurance. I think that's where we were at anyway. So, Ash of War, we're going to take the Ash of War off this. Then we're going to go to weapons. So 138 plus 28 and 136 plus 26. So this actually is 2 points more damage than this blade. So we're actually going to put the flame art on this one. And then we're going to switch weapons. And because we're right here, and I don't like looking at 15 billion weapons in my inventory when I'm trying to sort things out, throw you in there. Incantations, throw you in there, you. Actually, get that back out. And you can see we're already collecting quite a bit of stuff, you know. So, I mean, we have the ability to have quite a bit of diversity in our build. So, drop down, drop down. We're going to actually come right over here to this ledge, and we're going to be very careful. And we want to walk just like that. Grab that stone sword key. And here's why I was saying earlier when we were doing the character correction. Starting off with a stone sword key is awesome. Because that just helps us get way more later. Or have way more later so that we can open up a lot of stuff. Versus getting the golden seed that... I mean, we already have enough to have, like, 7 potions. We'd still, I think, be technically at... Actually, I think we're at 8 potions? 6 and 2? Yeah. 8 potions? I believe we'd still be at 8 potions had we started the game with 1. Ooh, no, don't get stuck. I was out of stamina. Being out of stamina is no bueno. Man, that took it out of me today. I've never seen it do that before. The little ooze thing fell off the bridge. How entertaining. There is, in case you need it, there is a crimson scarab right here. And run towards that tree and jump. Then you go past the tree. Same thing. Run and jump at that tree. Now, do not run and jump, because if you fall down that hole, you will just die. So you just walk off the ledge towards that. And then here, we want to line this up and walk off. And we're going to do a little bit of platforming. Grab that smithing stone too. And then we are going to walk off the ledge towards this one. Now, here's what I would do, because there's a bunch of rats down here. There's the door out, right there, towards the west, or southwest. And I'm just going to walk straight for it. And sprint out the door. And just to be on the safe side, in case all these rats kill me, I'm going to grab this grace. No, I'm stuck by the door. Now, the difference between the sword that we were using in this one is a thrusting style, heavy. So, thrust, thrust, thrust. Not my favorite. I like the ones that do the big sweeping arcs, but I'll sacrifice a little bit of damage I'll sacrifice my comfortability for a little bit extra damage. Besides, doing poke damage is pretty fun. Now, there will be a guy right there. We're going to ignore him, or we're going to go straight for the flyer that shoots arrows at us. Then we'll come back and get this guy. And down. If you are an archer, there are flame arrows over there. Unimportant, so I'm not going to go run over there to grab them. But what I do is I just run over here, runny, and fall off the edge. There's a ladder over there that you can go down if you just really don't want to risk it, but meh. And this is the final boss for us, but this is the boss room for this area. Actually, I'll show you an item that we can get before I get off. And the reason why we wanted to do the quest just a minute ago. So this guy likes to jump around a lot. So we possibly could die here. I want my wolves to kind of irritate him. There we go. The thing I like about the wolves is they do a lot of poise damage. Grafted blade, great sword, legendary sword here. One of the ones you need for your platinum, in case that's something you want to do. I can tell you right now, I'm not going to be able to, I'm probably not going to do a platinum run this time, but there are videos out there of people that do walkthroughs that will show you how to do platinum runs if that's what you want to do. They're who I watched when I wanted to figure out this game, so go watch them. Alright, so we delivered the letter. Some people say you have to go and talk back to that guy, but literally just coming back down here where she was at, you'll notice that the little girl that was sitting here, she'd be dead. You can see their weapon here. You can, just all that fun stuff. So we're going to talk to him. Make sure he repeats himself. And now we're going to beat on him. Oop, if I don't miss my jump here. Alright, so he's going to drop 2 items now that he's gone. First one is his halberds. This is the first +8 weapon you can get in the game. Or natural +8, not a somber. So you get that. Now, you'd think that's everything he's going to give us, but you'd be wrong. So we're just going to run right back up over here to the Grace. We're going to rest at the Grace, and then we're going to run back down there, and there will be another item that we need for a side quest. And we're going to run right back over there, and watch this. Boop! Now there's another item. And you need this for a side quest. The Shabribri Grape. You need 3 of those for a different side quest. Well, you need 3 of those plus another item to complete the entire side quest. But alrighty then. So that is going to be the end here. So we have now officially completed all of this except for a side quest here. We've done this. We've done the tower. We've done all the different caves that are around here, unless there's one that I missed. If there is, please let me know. Like, I would rather do that. So in the next stream tomorrow, we're going to do this area here. We're going to do the PvP thing here. Get an item here. And then we're going to do here. This, by the way, was the Evergoal that I was talking about that I'm not going to do because it's I forget what they call him. Anyway, it's a big guy. And I don't really care to fight that guy because he's a giant pain in the butt. But, yeah. Other than that, once we do this area here and this area here, all of Limgrave will be pretty much done. We'll still have the Tree Sentinel that's waltzing back and forth here. And then there's the dungeon down here that we can do. But I want to knock out this so that I can get in here to get the weapon that I'm looking for. So I can start leveling stuff up. But other than that, guys, I'm going to bounce. I appreciate it. Again, if you have any comments or anything, let me know if I missed something. I don't know. It's possible that I do. I don't know this game like the back of my hand. But I've played it enough times. I think I know where most of the important stuff is. And that's kind of just what I'm going for. So, other than that, guys, I'm out of here. I will catch you later. Peace.